Awesome. All right, so these are going to be video coach's notes. I'm going to try to do these going forward so it kind of helps with some movements, especially new ones we haven't seen before. So this week we have a lot that's new, probably to some of you. First thing I want to go over is the snatch cycle this week. So we have two moves. We have snatch press behind the neck. So what we're looking for is nice, tight, straight body line and press and lock out with that bar over kind of the crown of the head right there. So if I turn this way, start behind my neck, I'm going to press straight up, nice lock out elbows. The reason these are in there is really just to work on that press out, that lock, and this kind of finish strong position up here with shoulders pressing the bar to the sky. We're just kind of priming that position for the halting snatches. So what the halting snatches are is it will look like this. So essentially what we're doing is we're pausing just below the knee for a 3 Mississippi count. Obviously, while they're doing these, people will probably count 1, 2, 3 instead of 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. If we instruct them to count to 3 Mississippi though, they'll probably hold this long enough. And what we're looking for is that nice straight bar path up, giving them time here to feel this position where I feel it in my hamstrings, make sure the bar is not out here swinging but close to my body. Train those lats to keep the bar close, and then we finish in a full snatch. They will be squat snatches. So the purpose of what I'm doing these is we've gone through the breakdown parts of the snatches so far, and now we're gonna put that full snatch together, but with a pause, so we have straight bar path, shoulders and hips rising together, and then we have that nice change of direction, explosion and drop under the bar. These will be awkward for some people. Biggest things I would look for is the bar close still as they pause. Some people will end up doing this and the bar will float away. So keeping that bar close. And then as they change directions, we want slow and then fast. So that's what I'm looking for. Slow to here, a nice pause, balanced, the whole body is balanced, and then fast as I do a squat snatch. So that's the snatch cycle. We're gonna change up the warm-up for the back squats on Tuesday. We're gonna do a little more plyometric explosiveness. One of the things you probably haven't seen so far are the low box straight leg jumps. So for a lot of people, it might just be to a plate, a couple plates, might be in some of those small boxes. Some people might have really good legs and be able to jump 20 inches. But all I'm looking for is when I jump, that once I take off, my legs stay straight, and then I land. So it's working on explosive power up. Something else we're gonna do in the warm up on Tuesday are called Kang squats. All that is a good morning, into a squat, back to a good morning, back up. It'll really wake up that posterior chain and those hamstrings to help people squat a little better. Also for the back squats that day, we really want to encourage people to push the reps. So it does say 6 to 8. What we're working through right now is a double progression. So not only are the reps kind of staying the same, but the weight is going up. So instead of it being, I'm going to do 10 reps at 50%, and the next week I'm going to do 8 reps at 60%, and the next week 6 reps at 70%, it's essentially the reps staying the same, but my weight is increasing. So it's like a double progression. I really want to ask them to kind of push those reps. It's not just 5 by 6 reps. Like if you can do 8, do 8. Try for 8 on those first couple sets. If you then start to fail, then drop the reps down. Something else in that warm up is a high bar step over. This one's a little high for me, but we'll just pretend. You're gonna put a bar about mid-thigh height, and they're gonna step over it, and then back over. Granted, they can do that in the air. Like if someone just wants to stand here and pretend there's a bar about mid-thigh height and just do this, that's cool. But they can also put their bar about mid-thigh height and actually step over it, help warm up those hips. That's really what we want to use in the back squat. A lot of our posterior chain, our big hip muscles, and our quads, not just the quads. The skill work for that day is bar muscle ups and L sits. So I want to go over some versions. So if people can do bar muscle ups, let them do bar muscle ups. If they chicken wing, so we get a lot of the swing here, trying to get them to slow down and get a nice double turnover. If someone cannot do at least 5 unbroken full chest to bar pull-ups, they're not allowed to do banded bar muscle ups. If someone can do 5 plus full unbroken chest to bar pull-ups and they want to try for bar muscle ups with a band, they can. Otherwise, they're not allowed to use band. They can do jumping bar muscle ups, which can look something like this, where I have a bar set, I don't know, chest height, could be even belly button height for some people who might be scared to jump and press, but a jumping bar muscle up would be knees bend, press and jump up. And this can be set at any height. So I could technically put it at my chin, I could squat below it and jump and do the turnover. I could set up a box here and use this bar to jump off of and do a turnover. So those are some jumping bar muscle up versions. For the people where some fear of this might be involved, I would put it right about belly button height and just have them do a little hop and press so they can get into that nice good support over top of the bar. That's really what we're working, is kind of that nice dip and press support, working on those tricep muscles, especially since Murph is coming up. We're looking for good kind of tricep building progression so that we get to those lots and lots and lots of push-ups, our triceps are ready to go. For the L-sits, we can do these hanging, so they can hang from the rings and do an L-sit, they can hang from a bar and do an L-sit, they could use parallettes and press up and do the L-sit, in between some boxes, press and do the L-sit. We can do single leg, you can do tuck, you could do switching legs in and out, however they want to do that, just to get some of that nice good core work. What is next? On Wednesday or Thursday, we have some core work that we're going to do with Russian twists and some barbell sit-ups and dragonflies. So barbell sit-up is going to look like this. So essentially I've got that bar locked out overhead, and as I come up, my shoulders rotate back, and the bar is still over my head. So bar is following where my head is, staying in the same spot. For dragonflies, we're looking, I would use, I can't reach the actual rig post right now, but we're just gonna pretend. So they can hold on to, you can lay down on a bench and do these and hold on to the back of the bench, like where your head's resting. You can lay down on the ground and use the rig for these. What we're looking for is legs straight up in the air and then bringing those down in a straight line to the floor. We'll do another one. So we're gonna go straight up in the air where my shoulders are on the floor, bringing those legs straight down to the floor in a nice good body line. Those are really, really gonna challenge some people, especially if they've never done them before. One of our warm-up progressions we have set for Thursday has some kettlebell work in it. So we have some deadlifts and swings. Those are normal. One of the progressions has goblet squats into weighted Cossack squats, so our side lunges. And then the last progression is gonna be single arm overhead squats. So with the kettlebell, I would get most people to do these super light, but what we're looking for is just that arm locked out overhead, and then a nice squat with it. If they get to here, that's cool. Stand back up. If they can squat all the way down, all the way back up, that's great. But what we're doing is really challenging the unilateral body position, trying to get them to stay completely upright, even if one side is loaded. Some twisting, if they rotate, totally okay, especially since these will be very new for some people. You can even use a dumbbell, just putting a dumbbell overhead. Whew, I'm out of breath. All right. Our accessory work on Thursday are going to be hammer curls and leaning dumbbell delt raises. So we're working biceps and then our deltoids and our shoulders. Again, this is all kind of leading towards Murph with Murph prep. So what we're looking for hammer curls is just nice curl, pause at the top, come back down, nice and controlled, no like kipping, trying to use 50s to impress somebody, nice slow curls. Our leaning delt raises, they'll grab onto the rig, feet close, body leans away, so you're kind of already out away from your body with the dumbbell, and then you're gonna go up and down. This helps really isolate the arm that you're using, because if I stand here and do this, I can kind of use other muscles in my shoulders and core and upper body to fling that dumbbell up there. So we're isolating everything, leaning away, nice tight body, and then going. In one of our warm-ups, we also have rotational slam balls. So what that will look like is feet, maybe a little bit staggered, not much, maybe right together. What we're looking for, I don't want to hit that light, is we're going up overhead and down to the side. So as I pick it up, I come back and throw it here. So it's nice, good rotation where that back leg kind of comes into like a baseball swing stance. So if I was going to swing it back, whenever I take this side, that back leg comes up. This whole hip helps me create the rainbow as I'm slamming the ball down. We also have split stance, Romanian deadlifts, which we've done Romanian deadlifts before. Strict leg deadlifts, right? So we're going here, coming back up, my knees don't bend. I'm extending my butt as far back as it'll go. For these, we're just gonna take a staggered stance and do the same thing. All that's doing is isolating one side. So kind of like we've done the single leg with like kettlebells or dumbbells where you let this kind of back leg pop up in an airplane. Same idea, but that back leg stays on the floor. You have a lot more control. The last thing is on Saturday, I'm not sure who's coaching this week, but the strength portion of the workout is really working on stability. We're gonna do a farmer wader carry. So what that's gonna look like is one hand will carry by our side, one hand will carry above our head, and then we walk. Nice and upright. This arm is really pressing away. This arm is staying close to my body. I'm not bending, twisting, rotating, nice and straight. And essentially they'll just walk down the gym floor. When they get to the end, they can put the weights down, turn around, and walk back. You can do these with the kettlebell in both hands. So I've got a kettlebell overhead, kettlebell in my hand. I'm doing with 2 dumbbells. I can do like I did, 1 dumbbell, 1 kettlebell, whatever the person prefers. And that is all the new stuff that we've got this week that you might want to see before you start coaching. Big notes for this week are don't get too focused on one person. So sometimes in class we have someone who's fairly new, maybe they're brand spanking new out of personal training foundations, and we get stuck with them the whole class. Give them some instructions, walk away and make sure you pay attention to the rest of the class, because there might be people that actually need your help. There might not be people who want your help or need your help, but give them some attention, then go back to that person. Also, they can probably only really learn maybe 1 to 2 new things, 1 to 2 cues. So don't sit there and try to fix their overhead squat with like 14 different things. Give them 1 or 2 and let them work on that for the day. We've still got people who are doing RX Plus who do not need to be doing RX Plus, especially if they are doing singles of some sort of barbell movement from the get-go. So we've got a couple Metcons this week where the bar might not be as heavy as they want it to be, but if they're doing, like Thursday, our workout has power cleans, power snatches, front squats, and overhead squats. They're doing singles of those things. They're doing a single power clean, having to step back from the bar and like breathe, and then they do another single, and it's like one of these starfishes where they go like this. Like, tell them to drop the weight. If you know someone's gonna get there, tell them to drop the weight. Nobody needs to be a hero. This isn't a competition. You aren't gonna win anything. So try to get them to learn the movement correctly at a lighter weight and earn their way into that higher weight and earn their way into that RX Plus category. Monday, our RX Plus is a weight vest. So I'll probably post that today, like a screenshot of tomorrow's workout, telling people that they've got a weight vest to bring one. If someone really wants to do RX Plus and they can do RX Plus in a weight vest and there isn't one, they can do a couple of different things. So you could take a belt, like one of the belts we have on the wall, and string like a 5-pound plate through it, but just make sure the plate is on their back. So when they do the Velcro, instead of Velcroing the belt in the front, put a 5 or a couple 5-pound plates in the back and then Velcro it shut, because we're doing air squats and burpees, so we wouldn't want that in the front. That would really restrict what they're doing. Or if they really want that's not something they want to do, but they kind of want to do RX Plus, then tell them to grab a dumbbell or a kettlebell and do goblet squats, and then burpee box overs with the dumbbells or the kettlebell. But that's only in an extreme case where there's not a weight vest available and that person really can do some sort of RX Plus version of that workout. Other than that, I'm really excited to see where this snatch and this back squat takes us. Everybody's back squats looked really great last week. So keep getting them to use good form. Keep using your coaching cues. Keep learning coaching cues from other people. And get out there and make sure that your classes are having fun, because that's the most important thing.